Hey guys, new review video for this week. We're going to be looking at an older Heller kit in their 1/72nd scale T-28 kit. Now I do know we don't typically look at trainer aircraft here, so this will be an interesting little departure. So, starting out with the first sprue, we've got our two fuselage halves, our cowling, our engine, and our horizontal stabs. Now, as far as surface detail goes, all of it is of the raised type, obviously since this is an older kit and that was the style. But overall, it's not bad. It's one of the better examples, I would say. It's not out of scale as I would say, where it's so overly huge that it distracts. But at the same time, it does do a very good job of representing the detail in the actual aircraft. The only area where I would say it's a little excessive is here on the horizontal stabs, and hopefully this will show up, where some of the bolt detail is a little excessive. Continue on. The radial engine, the detailing here is poor. Cylinder heads are really squared out and just, not that great. Now, granted, it's going to get covered up by the cowling, so how much of that you're going to see, can't super say, but that is something to be aware of. Moving on, we've got our two wing halves. Now, one problem right away I have with this part is how they chose to do the pylons, especially here for the fuel tanks. They have this huge, massive block of plastic where it's supposed to go on. Now, yes, this will make mounting them a lot easier, but same time, it looks really poorly done. And obviously you're going to have to paint and decal around it. So that is a major issue, as trying to cut any decals you might need to put there will be a pain. Continuing on, we got the rest of our parts, including our landing gear, gear doors, wheels, cockpit tub, prop, and seats. Seats do not have any type of molded on seat belts, so that's something to be aware of. Cockpit tub detail is not that great, but in this scale you can get away with a lot more, since a lot less is going to be seen just due to the simple fact keeping stuff in scale. It's going to be really small, so like I said, you can get away with less detail than you would with, say, a 1/48th or 1/32nd. So I'll give it a pass here, but obviously it could be better. Similarly with the instrument panels, they are of the raised type, but again, how much are you really going to see in this scale once it's buttoned up? Another thing to be aware of is the landing gear. While they do the job, they are very small, so you're going to need express a little extra care when handling them. As I did already have a little bit of sprue break off here, I don't think it was a poor stub to look at all the instructions and examples, but it is something to be aware of. Now, lastly, we have our canopy. Now, unfortunately, shoot, just noticed something. This looks like it's, dang. No, wait, I think, hang on one second. Did I get a bummer and not notice it till just now? No, wait, yeah, it is correct. It's just, okay, sorry about that. I just had a momentary scare. Yeah, just how it ultimately breaks down in terms of how the canopy splits and all that. It just does it in an odd way. And for a second there, I thought I was missing a part. As I said, it only comes as this single piece. Now, I guess part of the reason I got scared was I'm gotten so used to having a closed and then a split up set of Canopy parts. So, yeah, I guess I've gotten a little spoiled in that regard versus these older kits. But yeah, as I was saying, it comes as a single part, which obviously if you want to have the canopy opened, you're going to have to do some surgery on. Given how fine it is, I would actually recommend against it, as in this scale, doing that kind of surgery, you're more likely to screw something up than get it right. So if you do plan to do open canopy, you need to be aware of that. Now, lastly, onto the decals. Now, unfortunately, this is where my copy, the decals are kind of toast. Turn it right side up. No, I had it right. Sorry. Unfortunately, looks like age got to my decals, so that is something to be aware of. However, a lot of these decals you can probably source from other kits and what have you. You're given two marking options, one for a French plane in Algeria and a US version for Nam. So given that, you should be able to hopefully source some decals from other kits or aftermarket sources. Now, moving on to our instructions. It's pretty basic. Cockpit build up, followed by our gluing everything together, and then wheels and gear. So overall assembly isn't too complicated. There's not a whole lot to screw up with this. The only thing I would say would be probably temporarily attach the cowling just to make painting a little easier, and then add the engine in after you finish. Flipping over, we got our two marking options, as I said, for the US version in Nam and a French Algerian aircraft. So overall, the decals aside, as that is a little unfortunate. Now the kit's not bad. Given its age, it's workable. It has some issues, but for the most part, they're not going to give you too many headaches. Now, obviously, having raised detail, if you wanted to go in and remove that, that's one option. Personally, I would say it's fine as is, as it doesn't take away too much. That, or if you end up getting one that, like mine, with decals or roach, you might be able to pick up decals for an actual training squadron as opposed to a deployed squadron. And those birds tend to be a little cleaner since they're away from a lot of the grime and do get a little more TLC. So, yeah, that was a look at Heller's 1/72nd scale T-28. A kit that has some issues, but they're not issues that will take away too much from it. So, until next time.